Hello and welcome to my channel. Please make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any upcoming videos. Today I am going to be doing an art journal page and I am going to be playing with mixed media. So I am using a piece of basic white cardstock and I am gessoing that cardstock with white gesso. I will have all of the supplies I'm using linked below. And please make sure that you give this video a thumbs up. That just helps out my channel and I truly appreciate it. Also, please leave me a comment down below and let me know if you enjoy art journal pages or if you enjoy mixed media of any kind. If you are coming from my channel for scrapbooking, you can absolutely use these techniques in your scrapbooking, and you can also art journal just on regular cardstock. It doesn't have to be in an art journal. I think that everybody right now could benefit from art journaling and playing with their products intuitively and just seeing what happens. So what I'm doing right now is I waited for that gesso to dry all the way, and then I am just spraying some of my mists on some packaging, some plastic packaging, and then using the packaging technique, or as Vicki Boutin calls it, the kissing technique, I think is what she calls it, and just touch the page and kind of move those sprays all over. And then I'm also adding a little bit of water to get a little more movement, and that is what gesso does on cardstock, at least. It gives you that movement so the sprays and inks that you're using don't just soak right into the page, so you're able to move them a little bit, like I am right now. So these colors honestly make me so happy. I decided to use the aqua and the pink so it would also create a purple, because those are like my favorite go-to colors. And again, I will have these supplies linked below. I am using my small art journal, which is a Dilutions journal. This page is not gessoed at all, but these pages are kind of made for movement and made for that water play, and they do not soak up these inks immediately. They are thicker papers, and so I did not need to gesso the art journal page. You don't always need gesso, especially if you're using watercolors and watercolor paper. You do not want to use gesso. So again, I'm just going back and forth from the colors and the water, and I'm using my paper towel to kind of soak up any big puddles to where it would be hard for it to dry. And now I'm also bringing in a darker color, and I just sprayed it right on the page, and then I'm touching it with the packaging just to kind of move it around. And then I am picking the journal up and moving the journal around and adding water, and I really like that dark color. I like what it added to the page. So make sure that you are drying between your layers. I am drying between my layers. I'm just not showing that part, or not all of that part, on camera because it takes some time. But be patient, have fun, and make sure you're drying those layers. Lift up the page and dry the other side of the page. Make sure that you don't hold your heat tool too close to the paper. So yeah, and any puddles that you see that are just like really big puddles that are just not going to dry, you can grab that paper towel and just sop those up. But don't just lay the paper towel down unless you want a lot of that color to come up with the paper towel. So now that we're all dry and I'm happy with the way the background looks, I'm going to start using some stamps and archival ink, which is a permanent ink, and it is a waterproof ink, which I find is very important to have when you are art journaling. I'm not going to be using water anymore on this page, but just in case, I still want to use my archival ink. So I'm using these stamps for some texture on the page. And the next thing that I'm going to do is just keep adding some stamped images and I will have these stamps and supplies linked below, so y'all can get your hands on these supplies if you want to play with them or recreate this in any way. So also, when I'm stamping here, I am stamping one dark and then off stamping, which is just like a double stamp. So you stamp one time to get that really nice dark impression, and then a second time to get a lighter impression. I personally just like the way that that looks. I don't know. I like it. I like the variation of it, and so that's why I do that. So now I'm going to bring in this mixed media background that I created at the beginning of the video, and I am going to be stamping some flowers on this background, and then I am going to fussy cut those flowers out. I'm not going to do that on camera because it did take quite some time. So now that they're all done, I'm going to take my black Pitt pen and just go around the outside of the stamped flowers to make sure that none of that white is going to be showing. And now I'm going to go ahead and start stamping the stems for the flowers. Now, I will say that looking back now, I kind of wish that I would have done the actual flowers in different colors, maybe some contrasting colors, because I did the same colors on the background as I did on the flowers. They excuse me, they kind of blend in just a little bit. In person, I can still see that you can tell that they're flowers, but in the video, they do kind of blend in just a tad. Also, with the stems, at the end of this video, there will be some close-up pictures of my finished art journal page, and I ended up off camera coloring in the stems of the flowers with that black Pitt pen, just because I felt like the stems weren't being seen very well, and so I decided to do that. Now I am taking some heavy gel medium and I am gluing these flowers down to the page. Now I'm using heavy gel medium because these flowers are quite thick. They have several layers, they have gesso on them, they had a lot of water, so they curled up on the ends just a little bit, which is fine, but you want to make sure that they're going to stay glued down. So I'm holding them down for a couple of seconds after I put that gel medium on the back of them. So the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to take a look through this little word phrase book from Tim Holtz. This is new to me, and I absolutely love this. I personally use my art journal pages for words of affirmation, and also for kind of like pep talks to myself. They just really make me feel good. Now, I am thinking about starting doing art journaling as a therapy, so kind of like an art journal therapy, and I am going to be having different prompts, and I'm probably going to share that on my YouTube channel. But the way that I've art journaled until now is just intuitively playing with my products and seeing kind of what happens. So there is going to be a slight change possibly, and see if I like that in upcoming videos. So make sure that you're subscribed to my channel so you don't miss those. Now I'm bringing in a white ink pad and just bringing in some more texture with that white ink pad, and I really love the way that that looks. The words that I brought to the page are, the little thing that I brought to the page says, "No beauty shines brighter than that of a good heart." And again, just really great words of affirmation. And then this one says, "Never give up." And I'm just going around that with the Pitt pen to ground it and to make it kind of feel like it's there on the page. That is it for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please don't forget to give me a thumbs up and leave me a comment down below. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to spread love and be kind. I hope that you all have an amazing day. Bye.